Hey, welcome to Behind the Scenes. I want to share with you an important principle for a worship leader or a worship team to know. It will bring excellence to your ministry as you worship before the Lord. And we're going into a candid conversation right now with Mark Harris, multi-Dove Award winner, former member of For Him, and a current worship leader with Gateway Worship. And I pray that this will help you and your team.
And I always challenge our team members, you can't step up on a platform and do what you're not doing off of the platform. So it's like being on the platform should just be an extension of who you are and what you do during the other hours of the week. So I would rather a person not, because if you're on the platform and that's the only time you worship, then that's really just performing. But if you're a worshiper in your life, if you're a person that is in the Word, if you're a person that has a great prayer life, where you're listening to God and what He's saying, and where you're also speaking to God, then out of the overflow of those three things, a worship, word, and prayer, that helps a person be prepared when they're on the platform to be able to lead people into a place where they've already been.
That's good. Because you can't lead people where you've never been.
Yeah.
Or you don't know where to lead them to.
Yeah.
It's like going on a hike. Well, we don't have a destination, but we got some songs. Are you interested in hearing them?
Sure.
And then, like I say, it just becomes karaoke.
But that's good. I like that, actually. That's a good.
We just sing along.
Just sing along. Just follow the dot. There's a little bounce involved.
Now, I know you have values for the worship department, and one of those is character, I believe. Yeah. But they're like 5 C's or something. Tell us about that.
So we have the 5 C's, which is core, it's character, craft, communication, and culture. And really, I think the most important thing, because I think these 4 can represent any church. Okay. The culture really represents Gateway. Gotcha. Okay? Because most churches are going to want, because core just means I know who God is, okay. I know what it means to be saved, and I'm a born-again Christian. I understand just the concept of salvation and being a child of God. But then the character has a lot to do with, what is my motivation for wanting to serve on the platform?
Right.
Okay. Is it a place for me to shine? Because the reality is you want a person's character to be able to handle the responsibility of what the spotlight brings. You have to make sure that their heart is in the right place. Yes. So that I would think that every worship culture would want that. So not just Gateway's worship culture. So the thing that I always think is, because I heard Pastor Robert say this one time, and I think it's incredible. Lucifer was the original worship leader. So the thing that he had was the gift to be able to lead people in worship in the heavens. And so where Lucifer went wrong is that he wanted to share in God's glory. Mm-hmm. He didn't want it all. He wanted a piece of it. And so he thought, well, they appreciate what I do, so I want some of this to go to me. So what Pastor Robert said, and I thought it was so good, he said, anytime someone on a platform that's involved in leading worship wants the applause and wants the recognition, that really is no different than Lucifer, because they're not asking God, I want all of the glory and the applause. I just like it. I want a little bit of it. So that's the reason I think that character matters so much, because if a person doesn't understand that this is all about His glory, not about me being glorified, and you have to approach that from a place of humility and surrender and complete brokenness. Yes. That's the reason I believe that the psalmist David was qualified to be what we consider a man, and what God says, a man after His own heart, that wrote the Psalms and so many worship songs. It's because he went through so many difficult seasons in life. He was tested, and he was he'd gone through all of the different broken times you could think of a person going through, and yet he still loved the Lord. He still had a heart for God and for God's purposes. And so I think for us, sometimes the greatest worship leaders are the ones that have gone through the most broken situations in their life.
That's sweet, because they have a sweet spirit.
Yeah, that because they realize that they're not strong enough, and really it's not about them, but it's It's just only really about him.
Yes.